This is my section. Earth is under my protection. Earth is Gallifrey. I've got two hearts. Your life is saved. Run into the master, Raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not Rick. 12 bodies and men. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride, it's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space, oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a Daleks, baby.
Would you like a jelly, baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go, a new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you, best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I am one of your hosts, I'm Adam O'Sullivan. Joining me today, as always, is my number two, the delightful Nicchia shit.
I love the way I get to be Nicchia shit and you're number two. You know, you can go fuck yourself right now, Adam, right now. Out you get.
You know what? I was upset because you said right before we started recording, you're like, just jump in whenever, and I was going to, like, as soon as you started talking, just make a really big fart noise, and I'm like, no, this is a serious Doctor Who podcast. They won't like that sort of fecal humour. It's too tawdry. It's too lowbrow.
What I will tell you is that a guy once spelt my name with an L in it. And I walked up to him later and said, listen, if you thought I was a slut, perhaps you should have mentioned it to me. Which then became my nickname at work, Slutty.
Slut.
Yeah, that was good.
I like that. It's an attractive sounding word. I like it.
And that other voice you can hear, we are welcoming to our podcast our son, our Tra, our Cubed. It's one of the hosts of the Not Backed by Science podcast. It's Nick Carr. Welcome. Hey.
So why didn't you call me poop? You're a sexist. That's,
yeah.
Why didn't you refer to me as shit or poop?
Oh, you're always shit to me.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
There we
better.
go. That'll
You
Okay.
could be a number three, because that's when you have
What is
kids,
that?
a number three is when it's just
Everything.
out of the nappy and everywhere else.
Oh, my God. That's what we'll be talking about today.
It's a poop episode.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first poop episode.
Well, it is a domestic episode, and going to the toilet.
Well, we don't see the Doctor and his
Domestic.
companions shit in this episode,
No.
unfortunately.
How much
Thank
does
the
that
Lord.
happen? How much do we see?
Zero.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
The Doctor has never shit himself.
Oh, what? So
Yeah.
Spoiler
he's
alert.
a Time Lord.
Spoiler alert.
He goes to all these crazy things happen all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the galaxy
Yeah.
and throughout multiple dimensions, but never once. See, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Now,
First of all, it's never been mentioned in the canon, and no one's ever written a fan fiction. Although, having said that, I'm pretty sure there might be some Doctor Who scat
scat.
stories somewhere out there.
Tunes.
Anyway.
If you have two hearts, does that mean you poop twice as much?
I don't know.
Do you think poops depend on your hearts? I
Yeah.
think it
I don't
depends on
know.
how much your blood goes
Yeah.
through your body.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
much you put in your gut, really,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As
That's
well.
it.
If
Well,
you
it's
had
just your
two
system's
guts, it
working
would.
twice as hard. Like,
Let me just tell you right now. When I go poop, I don't put my heart into it.
oh, really? See,
Yeah.
I put
Yeah.
everything into it. That's it. I take it seriously, Adam. I'm not there to fuck around. I'm there to poop.
All right. Well, we're on a tangent already. We are a third of the way through one page.
Yeah, sick.
Nick, do you want to go through your history with Doctor Who?
Me or him?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, you're slutty for the rest of the
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very brief. My history with Doctor Who is that I think I remember as a kid when we first moved to Gatton and we discovered the joys of the local library. Because I like to watch TV and watch a lot of videos, I think Mum took me there because she was sick of spending heaps of money on at the video shop.
Yeah.
So the local library was a cheap alternative.
Yes.
So the main thing they had there with Doctor Who. So
Oh,
I watched
yeah, definitely.
a bunch of like the old series.
Oh.
But like it was when I was young. I don't remember heaps of it.
Yeah.
Like I do remember enjoying it at the time, but yeah, that's about all I really remembered. And then this most recent episode now.
So you enjoyed it because you were like bored out of your mind. It was the only thing to watch, but it never like latched on, and you were like, oh, I need to watch more of this.
I think I was just too young. I had like I don't know undiagnosed ADD, and it was hard for me to sit still long enough to really commit to anything. Like
you are constantly pacing the room as we're doing this episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Sit down, Nick. Sit
I am
down.
actually legitimately. My legs have not stopped jittering the whole time. I'm saying, yeah, if you noticed.
I know, it doesn't matter how many weights I've been putting on that leg, it still goes.
Still goes, yeah, I can't help it.
So you'd only seen classics, you'd never seen the new Who?
No, never once. revolves. Yeah,
This was your first New Who. This
Yeah,
is usually
yeah.
the other way around for everybody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
they've never seen a classic. They've all seen New Who.
Or the New Who.
Or they watch a classic episode and it terrifies them, and they're like, "I've never watched it ever since because it terrified me."
Yeah, it's quite full on. New Who, I like that term. New Who.
Yeah, old Who, classic Who, new Who. That's
Classic Who,
yeah.
new Who.
I'm a new Who fan. Nicchia's a classic and a new Who fan. Yeah.
Oh, okay, like
So
everything.
we're
nice.
at loggerheads. Yep.
I do. Well, I am slutty.
yeah.
She likes anything.
That's why I like her on the podcast.
A little
That's why
bit
I
of
like her here,
everything,
yeah.
you
So
know.
are we? So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting again. Are we meant to acknowledge that Rebecca's in the room, or are we just? I don't know. It's
no,
so,
she
it's
just
so
sits
weird.
there,
She's
yeah.
not. Yeah.
Everybody knows
It's throwing me off. Okay.
Tech's
Don't you
always here.
ever mention Beck ever
Sorry,
again.
yeah. Can I make eye contact, or is that
No,
not allowed
no,
either?
God, no.
Fuck. All right. Okay.
That's actually Beck's rule. Nobody makes eye contact
Yeah.
with the do not look.
If you look her in the eye, then we have a bad episode. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, now that we've forgotten that Beck is here.
Who?
Yeah, well, exactly. Let's start, how as we always do, with Doctor Who news. Guys, what's your opinion of virtual reality?
I haven't tried it for many years. I tried it when it very first.
The shitty old,
the shitty thing. It
the
felt
3D
like-
glasses.
Yeah, no, it was actually a big headset, like
Oh,
a
yes.
helmet I put on. It was a long time ago. I'm I'm 103.
You're holding up extremely well for
Yeah,
103.
yeah.
I think not bad.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the telegram from the Queen. Get on it, Lizzie.
Wait, does it have to be 100 years in one regeneration? Because otherwise, yeah.
Then she'd just be sending me all these telegrams. She probably got a few just lined up. Yeah, it was a bit jolty. It was a bit Tron, the original Tron.
Oh, yes, yep.
And I felt a little seasick.
And Nick, what's your experience with virtual reality?
I've enjoyed what I've done so far. I had the first generation Pixel where they had the Daydream headset, so you could put that on and you download some apps. There's a couple of cool games. There's one where you got a little remote with it. It was just like a gun shooting one.
Oh, yeah.
You were a cowboy with
Yeah.
a magic space pistol, and you had to fend off hordes of enemies. Very fun, very fun. Quite difficult though, and because you had to anyway, this isn't interesting, but it was fun.
Yes, it is. I'm the one who asked the question. I'll tell you what's interesting in that.
But then the one that I really liked
Edit
on
this
that,
shit out, right?
there was one that wasn't really. Oh, there was like a Netflix virtual reality app.
Oh, yes.
Where you could watch Netflix from like a virtual lounge room. And
yes.
so it was like they had a fireplace, but like under the TV. It was like a big mansion lounge room, and then there was like out the window it was
Marvin
snowing.
Gaye was playing.
and-
Like
yeah.
Netflix was trying to seduce you,
Yeah, a
basically.
little bit. That
Yeah.
was I did enjoy
that would then be Barry White.
But the one I really liked, and I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't really a game; it was an interactive experience.
Ooh.
And it started off, and everything was dark, and there was just like this little beat, this little light that pulsed, and a slow beat, like boom, boom, boom.
And you woke up in a cult?
Yeah. I woke up in a bathtub full
Turns
of
out Nick
ice
was
with
in a
no
coma.
kidneys. Yeah. That's why I stopped drinking. And then if you move the little cursor thing onto the light, it said click here, and you click there, and then it glowed a little bit more. It gave you more stuff to interact with, and as you interacted, it changed
Oh,
the
wow.
music.
Wow.
And it slowly built, and then it got brighter and brighter, and so it became this weird little cave that you could look around in, and you could move a little bit, I think, in it. And it was just like music, and it was like it was really cool, really
Wow.
trippy, a lot of fun,
And then you came off the drugs, went home, and went, that was the best festival I've ever been to.
I
Yeah.
did do it high, and it was pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest. I
You
was
came home and went,
yeah.
I didn't know solitaire could be so exciting. Whoa.
Well,
It was
I've,
great.
I've got a PlayStation VR. I am
Oh.
100% ready for VR.
Yeah.
Once I have enough money, I'm going to get myself a computer that can run a Vive or once they
Oh, yeah.
get rid of the cables, I am ready.
You are in.
Like one of my favorite animes is one where they get lost in a virtual reality experience and
Is that?
Sword Art Online.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
Say, that's the one I like. Is it called Ganza or something?
Gantz.
Gantz. That's it.
Ah,
yeah.
that's the one where they die and they come back and
yeah.
yeah.
Get a
I haven't seen that
Is
one.
that anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Kimber the White Lion?
Yes, actually, I have.
The
Mum
only
loves it.
anime I've
Ding,
ever
ding,
seen.
ding.
Mum loves it. Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of interactive experiences, the BBC has announced that you will be able to play a VR experience set inside the TARDIS, helping out the Doctor.
Ooh.
Piss off, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
Nicchia's going to
there.
cry.
You just mop it. You just like doing all his housework. So he's got
Yeah,
the doctor's
probably.
just there telling you to mop some
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
or
it's going to be the newest doctor, so it's going to be the
okay,
female
she,
doctor,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very sensitive.
That's right. She'll be doing the housework.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
Also, I just need to say
Okay.
at the start, I have very strong feelings about there being a female doctor.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Okay, well, let's...
It's good.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, like, do we need to put this in its own segment in case we need to cut it all out? Like, but you haven't seen any of the new Doctor.
No, but she seems cool. I like
Oh,
the
yeah.
suspenders.
She's
Rainbow
cool.
suspenders are dope. Yeah.
She's cool. She's fabulous, and cosplaying her outfit is kind of fun.
Yeah, it does look like a fun.
Yeah.
I'm considering.
And that's
it.
how we know that Nick is woke. He,
Just
he
so
likes
you know,
the
I'm
female
real cool.
doctor. Yeah,
that's
Woke.
it. I'm a cool guy. Yeah, I was on
Sexy
Q&A
guy.
once. It's,
Yeah. Hey.
Anyway, I'm awoke. Yeah.
He is a sexy guy. Look, gets sexier every time I see him.
Oh, really? Thank you. Okay, I'll look at that.
Of course, my eyesight's going, but
Ouch.
I'm 103. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. When he walked in here, I went, "Oh my god,
Damn, girl.
damn man,
You know what?
look
There's not
good."
enough talk on podcasts about how attractive I am. It's,
That's surprising. Is that why you started your own podcast?
yeah, that's 100%. So I was in
Yeah.
control of the messaging. Yeah, it's propaganda.
All right, so there are
Sorry.
already a few fan-made TARDIS VR experiences, but this will be an animated adventure where the user can follow and help out the Doctor.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's called Doctor Who: The Runaway, and sounds like it'd be more of an interactive movie than a full VR game. So you won't be able to like change the course of what's happening by the sounds of it.
I'd like a full VR game of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
But when they get there, I'm ready. I'll be ready when they get there.
I think with VR sometimes the experience though, like often in those sort of games, like when they've tried to just do games that are an experience before VR, pretty dull. But I feel like at least with VR, like those experience things are actually fun to do. Like even though they're not a full game, I still think that would be fun to do.
Yeah.
You might only do it once or twice. You might not play it every day, but you'll still have a ton of fun with it for an hour or two.
Yeah, and there's those interactive movies like the first VR thing I got was at a QUT thing, and it was like a little cardboard thing. You put your phone in, and it just basically was an ad for QUT where you were above Brisbane, and then these things would fly out at you, and you could like turn your head.
Yeah.
And like that was pretty cool. I was like, wow. And you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You just watched stuff happening.
You just
So-
you turn it on, you start it up, and you're like, oh, there's no parks here, and there'll be one park left, and it'll be $4,000. I'm like, this is the QUT experience I was looking for.
Yeah, well, then it was an ad for QUT, and I was like, I went to QUT, I did a theatre degree, and now I work in finance. Thanks, QUT.
University of the real virtual world.
University of people who will succeed better than I will. All right.
That is the worst thing about QUT, but the bloody parking.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
They need to do something about that. And another thing, no.
Is this this is why you started the podcast to talk about QUT?
Slag off QUT.
It's only taken us 20 episodes to get into it.
Well, I'm the stealth. It's quite amazing. You and Beck made me start thinking about things I didn't like because you're always up me for I love everything. So the other day they said, what
Yes,
don't
that's
you
right.
like? And I couldn't think of anything, and then I just couldn't shut up.
That's it. No, that's good. Yeah.
And it was still
We're
going.
going to do a whole episode about it.
Let's keep the negative.
Yeah, she just
the
started
negative feedback.
talking about what she didn't like about me and Beck, and it was,
Oh, really?
it was real depressing. Oh.
That's really cruel, and Beck doesn't even get to have a go back.
Well, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
There's no one else here. There's no one
This
else
is
here.
uncomfortable because I can definitely see another person, and I'm worried I'm having a stroke.
No, we talk about that sort of thing on your podcast.
Ah.
Yeah.
If you seeing people who aren't here, you talk about that on your podcast,
Yeah. Oh, okay,
not backed by
sweet.
science.
Hang on.
Actually, it's a good one. Ghost.
Table wrap. Oh my God, there's someone here. Sorry, I was
I
just
love
doing
that
well spirit.
that's 100% going to get edited out because knocking the microphone or knocking the table just sounds terrible on a podcast.
I'm now concerned because I'm looking at the notes that Beck's writing, and I'm seeing all the mistakes I've already made. Like Nick microphone, Nick cough, Nick. No. Yeah, wow. There's like 3 Nicks. Oh fuck, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, if you want to, we'll give you a tally afterwards. Stop looking. We'll just give you a tally. Our episode today is The Power of Three, Season 11, Episode 4. Written by Chris Chibnall and directed by Douglas McKinnon, who also directed The Sontaran Stratagem and The Poison Sky for David Tennant's 10th Doctor. So this is Chris Chibnall, our new showrunner.
I know. And I enjoyed myself.
So the guy who wrote this episode now is the showrunner for the whole series.
Oh, okay, cool. So he's worked his way up.
Basically. According to some rumours, he's been forced into the job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, after doing Broadchurch, I think, of being the showrunner for Broadchurch, which just killed and everyone loved it, I think they thought, he knows what he's doing.
Originally aired on the BBC on Saturday, September 22nd, 2012, featuring Matt Smith's 11th Doctor and companions Amy Pond and Rory Williams. We'll start off with a very short synopsis first, in case people haven't seen the episode. Amy and Rory are having difficulty negotiating their two lives, running around all of space and time with the Doctor and making plans in their life back at home. But when strange black cubes appear all over Earth, maybe they can stay at home and have an adventure all in one. Rory and his dad Brian are caught up in the Shakri's plans to use the cubes to wipe out the human race before they reach the stars. We start with a rundown of life with the Doctor. It's fun, it's fast-paced, it's exciting.
I loved that. That was really good fun to be able to sit there and go, because I hadn't seen it in so long, and I think maybe at the time I was starting to get over the Ponds. It was like all new again for me, and it just, crazy, crazy chaos, come home, pay bills. Crazy, crazy chaos, come home, pay bills.
Well, we see their life when they're not travelling with the Doctor, which is something that's touched on in the new episodes, but in the new episodes, Yasmin doesn't have stopped being a police officer because she's been travelling with the Doctor.
Yeah, she has. She has stopped being, and has she? Or have they been dropping back? I'm really interested what's happening with Yaz.
What level of income support does the Doctor provide to offset
none.
the lost shifts and the?
Well, he bought them the house.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
That was one of my questions: is how do they afford that sort of house when they're on a?
Remember, he bought them the house.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Amy and Rory are building up to tell the Doctor that they don't want to travel with him anymore. One night, mysterious black cubes appear all over the world. The slow invasion. The time the Doctor came to stay.
I think if you were going to invade, that is such a great way to do it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because
it's very effective.
Because we are bowerbirds in our own way. We'd start to pick things up. They'd become. When I first saw the episode originally, I thought, it's a bit dull, but actually I really thought, what a great way to do it.
So the episode was inspired by a freighter truck, not a truck, but a boat, a container with...
So not a boat, but a train.
Yeah.
A train with
No,
a spaceship.
A plane.
It was one of those fucking boats that had the freighter containers on it.
Was it a boat, Adam?
It was 100% a boat.
Okay. Would that be a ship?
Describe a boat. What do boats do?
They have wheels and...
They fly.
They fly. They have wheels and they fly. We all know what boats are, guys. Classic boat stuff. But it had all these containers on it, and it ran aground, right? And so all these containers started falling into the ocean and washing up on the beach. And people were going and stealing stuff out of the containers. Yep. But the company that owned it was like, okay, guys, you don't know what's in there. You could be getting iPads or you could be getting pesticides. You have no idea. And so Chris Chibnall was like, oh, that's interesting. People just go and grab free shit, whether they know that. They open the box up and well, I'm dead. Or, I got iPads.
Yeah.
Okay, all
right.
right.
It would be very hard, and they sort of touched on this in the episode, once people get them, it'd be impossible to get them back. Because there's so many. Yeah. You'd say, oh, give me your cubes, and people would be like, yeah, here's all of them, but they keep one, or something like that. Or people would just be like, no, I don't have any cubes.
Well, there's a strange thing later in the episode where they have an episode of The Apprentice, and Lord Sugar is like, I sent you out to go sell the cubes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
People will be like, I've got 10 cubes at home. Yeah. Why do I want to buy more cubes?
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what makes you a great salesman. If you can sell cubes that people found for free on the street.
I know.
The other cameo I really liked in this was Brian Cox.
Oh hell
yes! Great?
If you can explain this, you're a better man than I. Yes. It's like, no one's better than you, Brian Cox. Take your shirt off. Do some sit-ups. I love it. Yeah.
Wait. You know he's a scientist, right? He's not just a guy. And you're like, do some sit-ups. He's like, well, let me tell you about E equals MC squared. You're like, no, do some chin-ups, bitch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he gets my brain hard. I'll tell you that
much. I'm just talk science to me, Brian. Do it.
Well,
do it.
To point it out, a year and a half after this episode aired, he did a special called The Science of Doctor Who, where he discussed time travel, and it was very good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good cameo. I thought it was nice to have that.
It was very good.
But my favourite character, one of my favourite characters, got introduced in this episode.
The cubes.
Oh, Kate.
Kate Stewart.
I
Yes.
have questions about this too.
Okay, yeah.
Do they or do they not bone at some point, her and the Doctor?
No. Absolutely not.
Well,
Was she the-
we don't see, but
No,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
Because she gave him that little kiss at the end, and he was like,
Well,
I think that was strange because, okay, do you know the history of that character?
you know the Brigadier.
Sorry?
The Brigadier?
No.
so you didn't watch
I sort
those?
of got it from some context.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah.
So she's the daughter of
someone
one of his
else.
previous companions.
Okay, right.
Who was like a military person.
He wasn't
Yeah.
really a companion. It was almost like the Brigadier ran unit, and the Doctor was grounded for a whole regeneration for quite a long time, and he worked for unit. And the
Okay.
Brigadier would often want to blow things up, and the Doctor would tell him, science leads, but they were really good friends.
Okay, yeah.
Eventually, and the Brigadier was lovely and sweet and wonderful, and I was really disappointed they didn't bring him back. And then the guy who played the character died.
Okay,
Yeah, he died. He died about a year and a half before this episode aired.
Yeah, and so to bring back someone to pay homage to the Brigadier, who was such a big part of Classic Who, was just lovely.
And when he was talking about like, oh, I've just been kissed by a Lethbridge Stewart.
Yeah.
Stewart.
He was kind of thinking of the Brigadier and being like, well, that's what was getting him worked up. Was like,
Oh,
Brigadier, hello.
Brigadier.
Oh.
Well, the thing you've got to remember about the 11th Doctor is he is much more like a child.
Yeah.
So when people kiss him, he's awkward and just sort of
Very
stands there with
excited.
his hands and doesn't know what to do. And
How many people kiss him?
more than you
all
would
the time,
think.
all the
Oh,
time.
really?
I mean, he's married, so
Oh,
He
really?
is.
Yeah.
He does get married.
The
and-
Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Doctor is married.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of the Doctor Who theme? Have you
The theme song?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've always
you've heard
loved
it
it.
before? Okay.
It's one of the it's a great theme song for getting you
banger.
pumped up and amped.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It does exactly what it should.
Yeah.
It conveys the tone of the show. It gets you excited. Yeah, it's one of the all-time great theme
fantastic!
songs. Yeah.
And
I
straight
love it.
afterwards, Ron Weasley's dad shows up early in the morning to tell him about the cubes.
So Harry Potter universe and the Doctor Who
Yeah.
universe
Yeah.
connected? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
No, not really. But
No, it's actor
There
Mark
is
Williams
crossover.
returning as Brian Williams, Rory's dad. So he's
Yeah.
Rory's dad, but he obviously also plays Ron Weasley's dad in the Harry Potter universe.
Busy man.
yeah.
Well,
Lots of
Well,
dads.
and he's also been a companion. We didn't see it, but he ran off in the TARDIS for a while with the Doctor, didn't he? Remember?
did he?
Yeah,
Brian Williams.
after ships dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Oh, I haven't watched that episode for a very long time.
I liked him.
I did
like
too.
him. I liked him in Harry Potter as well. But
Yeah.
he was. He's very good in this episode. I
Yeah,
think.
is.
he did a really good job. So the Doctor sets up shop in Amy and Rory's flat, experimenting on the cubes. It turns out that Amy writes travel articles for magazines, I assume mostly about alien planets,
Yeah.
because she has not been anywhere on Earth in that time period.
That's what I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so also,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say in the lead up to this
They have
episode.
jobs.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it seems like there was a lot of stuff introduced in this episode, like the writing.
Yep, yeah.
So is that new stuff? Like, has there been a gap since they've seen him? Like, did he? Because I know that in the episode they talk about him giving them the house or whatever. And
Yeah.
so is he like taking them for a while? And he's like, all right, you guys deserve a break. Have this house and chill out for a bit. And then they've started building their lives. And then he's just come back one day and gone, these fucking cubes.
Well, no, there was a break.
Yeah.
at some point
For
where
a whole year.
yeah, like Amy became a model, Rory
Yeah.
was still a nurse.
Yeah, that sort of
They
stuff.
were going to get divorced at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But no, this is
It's
just
like neighbours.
So what you're saying is Amy might be available.
maybe, yeah.
I'm sorry, but she's my husband's free pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll go after. I'll wait.
Alright.
That's strange because
Wait.
your husband is my free pass.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Sorry, I have a follow-up question for this.
Yeah.
So when your husband is a free pass, is it in costume as Nebula, or is it? Because I was talking to someone the other day. I can't remember who it was, and they're like, "No, I'd much rather bone Nebula." And I was like,
Really?
Wow.
And he's like, "Yeah, she's way hotter as Nebula." I'm like, "This makes absolutely no
Yeah,
sense."
she would cut your dick off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a robot, like half. Yeah,
Like,
body's all-
imagine
yeah.
being in that position where he's talking to Karen Gillan and she's like, yeah, I'll totally have sex with you. And you're like, okay, but only if you're dressed as Nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
I
like
got paid
that.
several $1 million to go through that makeup process.
I am
so,
standing here willing to have sex with you right now, and you won't have sex with me because I'm not dressed in a like costume that
Yeah.
takes me 4 hours to get into.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I'm not
love, it's a
interested.
deal breaker.
I've got to tell you, I mean, it may be she is my husband's free pass as
Yeah.
Amy Pond, but she's never going to have sex with him. So,
Safe bet for you.
I mean, the woman's got respect for herself.
I mean, that's what a free pass is. It's
Yeah.
like someone you're like, oh, I'd love to have sex with this person.
Yeah.
It's a celebrity. They're
Yeah.
never going to have sex with you.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
I'd also, maybe I would prefer Nebula if she still had the Scottish accent. Oh,
yeah.
Thanos is coming. I don't know,
Yeah.
I can't do accents. But
That's right.
Potato or something.
No, that's Irish.
Yeah, I know.
it's all the same.
Oh dear, wow.
I'm Scottish,
Oh,
I don't know
man.
why. I shouldn't-
You've just
You've got
upset
a great
everybody.
Scottish accent, by the way.
Yeah.
Amy says that they estimate that it's been 10 years for them due to all the time traveling they've been doing with the Doctor. This puts her in her early 30s, and I love that in the episode, Amy gets a pair of glasses, as if turning 30 means you suddenly need glasses.
Yeah,
I was
that's
actually
right.
having dinner with an optometrist last night, and she basically said that, between 30 and 40 is when you start needing glasses.
Oh,
for
really?
and stuff. Yeah. Your
But
eyes
she's
go
just
shit.
hit her 30s. And it's funny because
fresh.
it's that idea of, well, she's not legally 30, but because she's been traveling so much. So she could be still like 26 on her birth certificate.
Oh, I
But-
thought she said it as in their time. It has been 10 years. He just doesn't realise.
Well, no, she says because it's not 10 years for the world. So I'm assuming she's saying it hasn't been 10 years for the world. It's only been like 5 or 6 years. But
It's been 10 years for them.
yeah.
See this? There's a lot of this episode of the time
Yeah.
Yeah.
line moving, and I'm like, I don't know how this fits into the
Well,
broader
there's a
story.
possibility that you could go traveling with the Doctor for 10 years, come back, and people are like, Jesus, you look old since the last time I saw you.
God.
You're like, oh, I've been gone for 10 years.
Well, you're like my bitch best friend there. Ooh, you're looking old. Are you tired?
What happens later in the episode? It's the night of their wedding anniversary, and then they go for 7 weeks and they come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's been 7 weeks for them, but it's been one
Yeah.
night for everyone else.
Yeah, well, they come back to the party, and is it Brian, the
Yeah.
father, or
Yeah.
whatever, is like, where have they been? And
Yeah.
Doctor's like, nowhere. He's like, well, they're wearing different
Yeah.
clothes.
And the Doctor doesn't just turn around and be like, yeah, they went upstairs to fuck. So,
Yeah.
you know, is that all right with you, Brian? We get to Unit and Kate Stewart. So excited to see the Doctor.
She's excited to see his unit. Sorry.
Ah.
I love Rory coming out and going, the army's in the house and I have no pants
Yeah.
on. Just love Rory.
And then her great call is, I've been wishing that was me for years. Or something. You're like, all right, yeah.
She said, yeah, I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Rory's like, well, you've never mentioned that fantasy to me. Like, you want a bunch of army men in with guns in the...
Well, Amy was always the flirt. She was always
yeah,
a
she's
terrible
quite flirty.
flirt.
She's quite flirty.
That's what I like about
How
her.
far into her career as a companion are we at this point? Like, has she been for a couple of
Okay,
seasons?
so this is
or?
actually the episode before they leave.
Yeah. So a long time.
Oh, right, yeah.
So this is the end of their
their
companions.
run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then does he, once he loses a companion, does he regenerate then generally? Or
No.
does he keep going? with
No,
a
he
new
gets another
Who's
companion.
the companion after this?
Clara.
Clara, who I liked and a lot of people didn't, but I
Who's
just
she
loved her.
played by?
Jenna Coleman.
Oh, I know that name. Where
Yeah.
did Jenna Coleman from?
Yeah, so she's actually already been introduced.
She has.
First
Do we want to
Avenger.
get...
We
yeah,
know.
let's not get into that. Okay.
We've already confused Nick enough. Let us not go into the backstory.
So, the Doctor deduces that the cubes want to be observed, so he plans to stay with Amy and Rory. 4 days later, the Doctor is bored out of his mind by normal
I think
life.
he has Nick's ADD.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you had a TARDIS, you would not, you'd be doing
Yeah.
comedy.
Wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, gee, thanks, man. Oh,
no,
it's
I didn't mean
really
it like
great to
that.
have you.
I just meant I'd be masturbating in the TARDIS.
The Doctor races outside to paint a fence, mow a lawn, rewire the car, and show off Matt Smith's professional football skills, all in the space of an hour.
Generally,
Yeah.
like, to be honest, quite a good house guest. Like,
Yeah, I
it's-
know.
yeah.
I mean, just that he's bored all the time.
Yeah,
Which
just cleans
would-
the house,
Yeah.
Maybe he could have made them something to eat.
Yeah, well, he apparently can cook. Oh, no, he did.
Yeah, in this episode, he does cook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. But I did love that. He does the football, he does the thing, and
Yeah,
then...
because Matt Smith was going to be a professional footballer.
Yeah, and then he injured himself.
Injured himself and decided to become a lowly actor.
An actor instead.
Yeah, I just like the way he goes, how long did that take? About an hour? Oh,
yeah.
God.
So he decides to leave. He offers the chance to Amy and Rory to come with him, but for the first time they decline and return to their lives. Then we cut forward a month later and it's October and Amy commits to being her friend's bridesmaid and Rory takes a full-time job. And it's December and we know because they're playing Slade's Christmas song, which
my
they
favourite.
always do in Doctor Who.
I love that song.
And in Rory's hospital, there's a little girl sitting there with no parent, just holding a cube.
Yeah.
No one notices. No one notices 9 months later when she's still there, same clothes.
Same girl.
Still
Yeah.
sitting there.
No one's like, is there a parent for this girl here?
This girl's been here heaps.
Yeah, like every single day, just holding that glowing cube.
She's Tom Hanks getting up. She's just living in the hospital.
Yeah, maybe she goes outside occasionally. I mean, she doesn't need to, really. She's a robot. Hey, she's an android, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's the first android we've ever seen that is not, like,
White.
brilliant white. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
true.
Ah, well. And she's created by the bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah,
So we
classic,
see what
yeah.
Doctor Who thinks about diversity.
Not much.
Turns out this little girl is not legit as she watches an old man get attacked by identical Q-Bert nurses.
Yeah, what's the thing with the...
That's never explained.
No, why have they got the facey?
Yeah.
If they can make robots that look identical to humans, why give them
Why
the,
give them
the
mouth?
huge schnoz?
Well,
you know?
maybe you don't need to. You just sort of do what you can and put a little mask where you don't have to do a lot of, I mean, I watch Face Off where they make all the prosthetics and they have to do it in a time frame. Maybe they ran out of time, so they just put a surgical mask on.
What was their faces again? Because, like...
They had no noses or... They,
it was
they
like
pigs.
It was like
Yeah.
a hexagonal, like,
Yeah,
face.
that's what I thought. It was like a weird thing, because then when they introduced the real bad guy later, he doesn't look anything like that.
No, they
No.
never. It's never explained. It's just
No,
dropped.
he looks like Davros's father, or... Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Moisturise.
But it's lucky that they're doctors and they have surgical masks. Imagine if they've been like, okay, we made these two people to go down. They're going to be bank tellers. And they go down and are like, well, there's nothing to cover my face. And
Yeah.
everyone starts losing their shit.
They got very lucky the wormholes in a hospital, yeah.
Yes.
My other question is, why are they taking some into that room? I mean,
Yeah,
the
they
cubes...
Never
why they had the
explained.
people.
Yeah.
Never explained.
Which kind of annoyed me because the cubes picked everything up. So
Yeah.
what was the point?
To be honest, if I can get a little bit wankery and over-analytical,
Yeah.
I don't think this episode was really about the cubes and that at all.
No.
It was about his relationship with his companions.
I think so
and
too.
his love of humanity.
I do. I know. I'm with you because I'd watched it before and I remember thinking, why is the hospital there? Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
This time I watched it and the relationship stuff came through and I actually cried a couple of times watching it.
Okay.
When he was talking about the Brigadier,
Yeah.
because I loved him, as a character when I was growing up. And then when he was just talking to Amy about, you're the first face
This
that I ever
face
saw.
saw,
Yeah,
yeah.
and just that he was having trouble giving them up.
Yeah.
Which you'd never see that with the Doctor. It's
No.
always the Doctor seems to just up, goodbye,
It's
and just
often
move
gone.
on.
Yeah, that's it.
okay.
Because he was sort of saying, that's...
It's the first time I've ever
Yeah.
seen that, and that it did really affect me. There were, and there were lines on it like "Welcome back, Lefty," which is still always going to be my favourite line
So
ever.
I think what you're saying is that it was all about the relationship and the monster was just an excuse to have that.
Yeah, the plot
yeah.
was
I know.
a bit messy garbage, yeah.
It was to a degree. I mean, I could understand that he sees that in the future, humanity's starting wars, getting all
Yeah.
over the place. We're considered a plague, and that's what
Yeah.
they're doing. They're getting rid of us, which I disagree with, although there's some people maybe. So it did kind of, that made sense. I was all right with that. It was
You
just...
were all right with us being wiped out.
No, I'm not all right with
Okay,
this
good,
being...
good.
No, if I ever get any sort of superpowers, I will become a villain and I will wipe out humanity. I
Well,
want
even
that on
yourself?
record.
Even yourself?
Yeah, the
Oh,
whole
wow.
thing.
Okay.
The whole kit and caboodle, all gone. Never give me a death ray. I will
Never give you
fucking torch the world.
superpowers.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Absolutely. 100% I would. The whole way through Age of Ultron, I was like, yeah, this robot gets it.
Thanos, you were like, yeah, he should wipe out half.
Yeah,
why,
fuck it.
why only
Well,
half?
yeah, why'd he stop
do the
there?
whole.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just
The only thing I was sad about
Just
is not
snapping
seeing
all over
all
the
the
place.
Avengers turn to dust. Yeah, that's it. Like, everybody.
Wow, so things not to let Nick
No.
play with.
Yeah,
when you
wow.
get your death ray, don't
Yeah.
invite Nick
50-50
over.
chance that Endgame's going to end the way you want it to.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, sick.
I actually just want the point of view gun from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because when you shoot someone with it, they can see the world from your point of view.
Oh, God.
And there's quite a few times when, particularly if you're talking to someone who's got a stupid idea about Doctor Who, you can shoot them and then they can see your idea.
And then they realise it's still stupid. Oh, good.
No, they see your point of view.
Okay.
It would be very very perfect.
The cubes are everywhere, being used as paperweights, chucked in with the cups, stacked against bins.
Sexual objects.
Sexual objects.
Of course.
I assume that most of the cubes are in the rubbish dump then.
There'd be a fair... Well, they have that recurring image of the cubes stacked up in the yellow bin.
So most of them would have been dumped
People
out.
just like, it was like, this is litter now. Like, they were
just
boring.
out, you know.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Get rid of it, and then it just becomes it's sitting by your bedside table. It's we're using it here to podcast to hold up a mic or something. You know, it's just. I mean, I love that it just they became so ubiquitous throughout the whole thing, and that's what we're like.
So this is my problem with the plan of destroying humanity is that we became so complacent about these cubes that we're just throwing them out. There's so many of them, we're throwing them out. So all of these cubes in the rubbish dump are like setting fire, like flying around and stuff, and people are like, there's no one there. You know?
Is this an allegory for climate change? We become so complacent.
You know, we here at Doctor Who believe in flat Earth and no climate change.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
How awkward.
And I would just like to say Adam speaks only for himself.
Sometimes, not even for myself.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great way to invade because we all just relax.
Well, because my issue is that...
It's just the wormhole, and why they have 7 or 8 people on a bed is beyond me.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah, see, like, there's so much. I think that they put so much into the first sort of 40 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
They were like, we gotta wrap this up.
Oh,
like,
The last 10 minutes is like, here's an explanation for everything. And it's like, what?
Yeah. That's what I mean. It seemed very secondary to everything else. It's the cubes and all that wasn't even really that important. Like, he reversed the thing very easily, fixed exactly reversed everything the bad guys
Everyone
did.
woke up.
Yeah, it wasn't even, that wasn't the big thing. I mean, that was just another day in the life of the Doctor. No big deal. Saves the universe. Who cares? Yeah, it was all more about his, obviously, if they leave after this next episode,
definitely,
it was, this episode was all about setting the tone for that.
Yeah, they leave and it's not the way anyone would want them to.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It was secondary to it. So the first time I watched it, I just remember thinking, well, I don't know why the spaceship's here.
Yeah.
It felt rushed. I didn't like the bad guy.
And they talk about it being...
Yeah, he was pretty lame.
No one can see the ship because apparently it's in another dimension. Like it's very sloppy writing for the plot to get the Doctor to have to stay on Earth.
But the human side is, for me, this time around was much more powerful. And I think I missed it the first time.
Right.
And it is, to me, like Chibnall has done with Jodie. And it is a little more domestic, or a little more, not domestic, but a little more about relationships.
Yeah.
And there was at one point, I did think a PowerPoint slide would come out when the Doctor was describing something. So that must be a Chibnall thing too.
Yeah,
so.
okay, all right. It's June and Rory and Amy's wedding anniversary. So the Doctor shows up and takes them to a recently opened Savoy hotel to celebrate. However, it turns out there's a Zygon ship under the Savoy and the staff are imposters.
Classic Zygon ships.
So even when he tries not to put them in an adventure, it's an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? I think it's the TARDIS, you know.
Yeah.
TARDIS goes, screw you. While you're here on your honeymoon, you can do blah, blah, blah.
It made me sort of realise what some of Rick and Morty sort of is making fun of. Have you guys watched much? You know you know the episode where they just like burnt out after too many adventures?
Yeah.
You know, it's just meant to be like a 2-second adventure and then it ends up with this thing and they just cry in the ship.
Yes,
I just feel like that's what they were going
he takes
for.
He takes them to give him an anniversary present and they're away for 7 weeks, you know? So it's just like, brutal.
Yeah.
Then she accidentally marries Henry VIII. I love that.
That was a quick aside. He's like, on our anniversary.
What is it? Annulled, beheaded, taken away in the TARDIS.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So then Brian asks the Doctor what happens to his companions, and the Doctor replies that some of them leave, some get stuck, and some die.
He says some, only a few.
Only a few.
Only a few.
But
and
some.
never these two.
Technically, only 2 companions who have travelled in the TARDIS with the Doctor have died at this point.
Who?
Katarina.
Katarina and Adric.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Others that we'd mentioned have been offered the chance to travel in the TARDIS and then died before they got a chance to, like...
Linda with the Y.
And Kylie Minogue.
Oh, Astrid. Do you love Kylie?
I like Kylie.
The Doctor promises that he won't let Amy and Rory die, which is funny because it is mid-2010s and Amy and Rory are already dead.
Yes.
That's Nick pouring some water there.
Oh, God, I'm glad that's what it was.
Yeah.
You should start that ASMR with Nick Carr.
ASMR, yeah.
Yeah.
So how are they? What do you mean they're already dead?
Oh, that would be spoilers, sweetie.
Yeah, we can't give you spoilers, but yeah, they're already dead.
If you watch the episode...
Saying they're already dead is a fucking spoiler, just so you know. Like, you've already given spoilers.
Oh, shit. Hey, so when I told everybody what happens at the end of Game of Thrones the next season...
Yeah.
Oh, that was a spoiler.
Classic, clear spoiler.
Not really.
Yeah, we don't really
Everyone
care.
dies. Everyone dies.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, that's true. If I like them, I'll let you know because they'll die.
In July, the cubes finally start doing something. Brian's cube starts dancing about. Rory starts opening and closing. Amy pricks her and takes her heartbeat. And whilst the Doctor plays tennis on the Wii, his cube starts floating and shooting at him before surfing the internet.
Why is the Doctor's the only one that shoots at him?
I don't know.
I feel like they never really get into how the cubes are able to do all these weird different things without, like, I don't know. That's another thing I was interested in. Like, the cubes can do, like, they can change into anything, apparently, but then that's not a...
Also, if they can produce guns and start shooting at people, considering that they want to destroy humanity...
Yeah, just all the cubes
shouldn't
turn
they,
to guns and just
all of
kill
them
everybody,
just start shooting people, you know?
Or just be bombs.
Yeah,
War
or just
of
be
cubes,
bombs.
yeah.
I just don't quite understand.
It's a very convoluted plan.
I mean, sure, maybe you don't want to kill the animals, well, that's fine. Just shoot people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
that's not
animals still
fine
have
to
hearts,
shoot.
you know? Like,
Animals are getting electrocuted too, but then they
Yeah.
don't care. Like, he's not like, we want to destroy the humans so that the llamas can take over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just want to say it is not all right for anyone to shoot anyone.
No.
However...
It's a bold
so
claim to
brave of
make.
you to say. So brave.
No,
Wow.
I stand by that. I stand by that.
Guys, let me say that Nicchia does not speak for everyone on this podcast. Okay, I think sometimes it is okay.
All right, we've had enough of your extreme left-wing views, all right?
Righto.
We live in Australia with some of the strictest gun laws in Australia, and how dare you come on this podcast and tell people that you are anti-gun?
I just want to say that I'm against littering, guys. I think the littering is
it's all
really
coming out
bad.
now. It's all coming out now.
Oh, who's a communist?
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going to get to communism, I think everyone should have, affordable healthcare. Oh, no. Oh, communism. Oh, God. How dare we?
Lefty.
ABC about communism.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many lefties I have to sit with today.
You're the one who said you were anti-gun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just shooting people just seems a bit... But anywho, if you were going to take over the world, I would understand that.
Or the bombs. Just make them bombs. Make them blow up.
Yeah.
Why wait? Like, if
and
you
don't
can...
put 7 people in a spaceship in
knows
another
why?
dimension.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Random
was. Yeah,
people.
well, again, like, there's just so many...
What, are these the 7 you're keeping? Because they don't look well.
Yeah, Brian wasn't a
threat.
A great version of the species, Like, he's not...
And Rory's not
Take
a
the
threat.
hot ones.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they were collecting celebrities, and they were like, well, this guy's been in Harry Potter and Doctor Who.
Harry Potter's dad. He's
Yeah.
got magic and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he'll be able to get us into, like, get Emma...
Just Emma Stone. Watson,
No,
sorry.
Emma Watson.
Yeah.
I was going to say Emma Stone as well. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I love her.
Both beautiful women. Not that that's how we judge people in today's life.
Edit that
God.
out. Edit that out. That's you don't have to.
Yeah, so we get a canine reference.
We did.
He has
we
a dog that
did.
can fly.
I had a dog
his
who
little
could
metal
hover.
dog, who's only been seen once in the new series.
Yeah, and he didn't really hover in the old series.
No.
He was a bit crap. But yeah, he was still lovely, but he just was a bit crap as a dog companion.
The Doctor gets a message on his psychic paper, so he rushes off to the Tower of London to meet up with Kate Stewart.
And that's when he realises she's the Lethbridge Stewart, because she is the psychic paper.
Oh, does that have something to do with being a...
Well, she would know a lot of secrets from her dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just from UNIT, but from her dad.
Yeah, because it's never really explained how she sent a message to his psychic paper.
And I've been to the Tower of London, and I didn't know there were offices underneath.
Well, I was going to say, it should be pointed out that every year almost 3 million people visit the Tower of London. Maybe not the best place for a secret base.
Oh, yeah.
Underground with no ventilation.
Yeah.
He points it out.
Yeah. Can you see crack a light through there? I think, hey, there's a door.
That sounds like aliens.
Yes.
Come on, Beryl, let's have a look.
I went to the Tower of London too, and I got there when it opened, and it took about an hour to get in because there's so many goddamn people around.
Oh, yeah.
I walked past on my way to the Hard Rock Cafe where I got very, very day drunk.
I hate day drunk.
We all made our decisions. We all stand by them.
Yeah.
We do. Mm-hmm.
That was Scotland for me. Yeah. The cubes are all activated at the same time. Some are making people feel mood swings, so just a normal day for me then.
Yeah. What about the one who's playing the...
chicken dance.
The chicken dance.
Oh.
I'd get that one for sure.
So I watched the episode on the way here in my car driving.
Oh my God.
I had
my
the subtitles on, and the subtitles came up referring to the chicken dance as the birdie song.
Oh,
and I was
really?
like, what the fuck English crazy shit is this? It's the chicken dance.
Yeah. Oh, that's a torture device.
Yeah.
It is, but I just thought that would be the one I get. I would either get the one that shot me or played the stupid chicken dance at me. And then shot me.
Kate Stewart isn't sure what to do, but the doctor tells her not to despair, revealing that he's figured out she's the daughter of his previous, companion, I would say companion.
No, he was the boss.
All right.
He worked for UNIT, and the Brigadier very rarely went in the TARDIS.
Okay. Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. Talking of legacies, the actress who plays Kate Stewart is Gemma Redgrave,
Yes.
niece of Vanessa Redgrave.
She is amazing. Those Redgraves.
What's Vanessa Redgrave do?
Oh,
She's a famous actor.
she's very famous.
Old school
Oh,
actor.
cool.
And that's a very prestigious name through English theatre
Yeah.
as well.
The
Yeah.
Redgrave.
It's like theatre and English stuff. So stuff your mum would have watched probably.
Oh, probably not.
Is Nick boring you back?
Oh, sorry, yeah. If you got somewhere better to be, is this...
He's boring the shit out of me.
Ouch. Shit.
Well,
I'm going to be very mean to you all on my podcast.
I should hope so. Amy and the Doctor discuss her and Rory stopping their travels with the Doctor. He's running away to see the universe before it fades, and now he's running to Amy and Rory before they fade from him.
Aww. I did get a little teary watching that. Because I always wonder, would you give it up?
Yeah.
You know, and I that would be
No
really
way.
that would be really hard. I mean, I'm happily married, and I just take Dave with me.
Yeah. Well, that's they're in the perfect situation because they are
Yeah,
husband and wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you want to have kids, look, I don't know how you have kids, like
they
averting
had a kid.
cosmic disaster at all times.
Yeah,
They had a kid.
Don't even start.
Damn it,
Don't
Adam.
even start.
I'm
It'll
going to set you on fire.
go for
This
too
is- yeah,
long.
This is ridiculous.
They did have a
Makes
kid, but yeah.
They did have a
more
kid.
spoilers. Fuck.
Yeah.
If I tell you what happened, it will just take you on another
Can you draw it?
journey.
No, oh my God! Remember that wife we talked about before? Anyway,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anywho,
no, let's not. Rebecca will cry.
I just wouldn't give it up.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
I would
would.
have to. I would have to be one who died. You know, to
Me
give
too.
Yeah.
give it up. It just how much fun.
Yeah, it does sound cool.
It
does sound like a
does.
very exciting life.
Well, a lot more exciting than paying your phone bill and
Yeah.
and commuting to work on the train.
As long as he pulled over for, half an hour, a couple of hours every night for me to do a bit of stand-up.
Oh yeah.
the Doctor comes to watch you do stand up every night.
Yeah, gives me
he
notes.
becomes the version of your mum, like just coming to watch you every single night.
Breaks out the sonic screwdriver to fix my jokes. That's,
Yells out your punchlines because that's what the Doctor would do.
yeah, just get drunk and heckle.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, sorry, the sonic screwdriver doesn't work on wood or your jokes. So, sorry about
And
that.
imagine then you could go back in time and do a bit of stand-up. You
Yeah.
could steal some jokes and go
Oh,
back.
yeah, if you had a bad set, you could go back in time and redo it.
Yeah. Or you could go back to the Bob Hope era and just do his set
Yeah.
before he does it.
Oh, I got a new mobile phone. Oh, that's right. Shit, they won't be invented for 50 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Listen, I'm going to pitch this great series. It's called Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah. Barry Potter.
Yeah.
Lotto numbers. Just get every lotto to win every lotto.
Yeah.
But then that would make you the bad guy that the Doctor has to stop.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He can try.
Yeah.
And he will.
And you'd get a death ray, and then that'd be the end of everything.
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd sneak into his TARDIS. Like I'd lure him to come get me. Then I'd sneak into
You'd
his
lure
TARDIS,
him.
steal
Ooh.
his death ray. Yeah, with sex, with my penis.
I don't think the Doctor has a death ray. I'm sorry to tell you this.
He's got a lot of shit in there, Adam. You don't know everything he's got. All right,
All right.
TARDIS is quite big inside.
Have you been through every room?
Yeah.
No, but based on who the Doctor is, I don't think he would have a
could
death ray.
confiscated one.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's very much like the Doctor to have a death ray and not use it for death.
Just use it for pleasure.
Yeah, just
That fly, dead.
point it straight up his butthole. He just needs to feel something.
Oh my God. Wow.
Well, I think he does feel See, I got a good segue. I think he really feels something in this episode.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
It's great that you did a segue to a bit that's going to get cut, so...
No, it is. It's an emotional... There's a lot of heart in this episode, and that's what I really liked about it. There are some things that don't make sense at all. I think the cubes were a great setup.
Yeah.
But... it really is about the relationships.
Yeah. They had a great idea, and it's like, I think it was like there's a couple too many ideas in it that they just didn't really get time to flesh out.
Another 10 minutes might have been nice on the clock, I think.
Yeah.
It was a pretty short episode. It was only about 45 minutes.
Well, that's all they were then, weren't they?
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the current season, which is 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I remember when it ended, I was like, oh, I must have like accidentally like hit part of the screen and skipped forward or something. I was like, oh, missed a big chunk here, and I went back and I was like, oh, no, it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That could have been when you hit the tree because you were driving and
No, I'm very good at it. I've been doing it for a long time.
So Brian Williams gets caught, and the cubes count down, which means they're counting down people, not time.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
When they catch the people. Okay, see, I didn't even pick that up.
Although Rory also comes through, and they don't capture him, but then all of a sudden it's gone from 2 to 0. So who are the other two?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. All right, well, let's keep going.
There were 8 wormholes though across the country.
True.
So
Okay,
we only saw the ones in the hospital.
But we see most of them be captured from Britain, obviously, as we always do.
Very Britain centric.
Yeah. Well, it's usually America, so it's just nice to see another country having a little bit of
country
a go.
that's important. Yeah.
Well,
When the cubes count down to 0,
they're having a shit of a time there at the moment. Brexit, so give them something.
what's worse, being exterminated or Brexit? Oh, who knows? Am I right? Oh, political. Yeah. Woo,
Theresa may not keep her job too much longer.
Oh, boom.
Take that.
All the political news you need.
Jokes, right?
Yeah.
The cubes open and they send out an electrical charge to stop people's hearts, stopping one of the doctor's hearts.
Yeah.
The doctor has 2 hearts.
Yeah. And it was actually good because I had completely forgotten that doctor fact, and it was good that it came up in the episode because it reminded me. I was like, he's got 2 strong hearts. Here's a doctor and his companions are hotties.
That's what John Farnham was singing about.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Doctor Who.
You got to have something in the tank, Adam.
Amy uses a defibrillator to restart the doctor's second heart, and they rush off, leaving the advanced alien tech droid lying in the hospital corridor for just anyone to find.
Yeah. Well, it's a hospital.
This young girl who's passed out in a hospital corridor, does someone want to check? Like, they open her up, like, oh my god, look at all this technology. Jesus Christ.
She's a sick robot.
I wonder what happened to her.
Does the doctor have like a series, like, does he have like a secret crew of like minions who go and do all the cleanup
Maybe
and that they never
a cleanup
bring
crew.
Up?
I've never heard of them.
That was sort of what Torchwood was, basically.
Yeah.
Was it? Like the doctor's cleanup crew?
And unit.
I was going to say that.
Unit, I suppose, yeah.
Unit to a degree.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So maybe they
Kate
clean
would
up.
have been all over it.
Yeah.
That's right. She was good. I like that. She was going, it's not just hospitals. We have to all stand towards each other. Blah. Showing the good side of humanity that you never see enough.
See, again, there were so many ideas in that I really... Even that part of humanity was like... I didn't feel like they really didn't introduce that till right at the end.
Yeah.
That wasn't a running theme. It was like the start of it was about his relationship, and then they had this cube thing that was kind of going on in the background. And all of a sudden at the end, it's like, they introduced this humanity thing, and then that's the big speech at the end. And it's like... It kind of feels like it should have just been more about him and the... it should have stayed more... If they're going to have that local episode, I don't think it should have ended up with him on a spaceship. It should have been something that was more... the fix was at home or inside them all along.
I'm with you. I think so too.
They've had episodes like The Lodger where it's been very localized.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they have done something very similar? They wanted something that was like it affected the whole world, I think, to get the doctor to say. It's very strange. It's not very fleshed out very well. think it's a great idea, and the human part of it, the relationship's beautiful. But we could have gotten rid of the guys with no face, mouth, nose thing. With the guns on their cheeks.
We could have got rid of the guy who was obviously not a representative of moisturiser companies. And the wormhole, and really just found the solution there.
Yeah, on Earth. Yeah, that's it. In each other.
It would have in each other. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to hug somebody or something to get the heart started. I don't know.
Something nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Doctor realizes that the alien is a Shakri, a bedtime story told to young Gallifreyans. A story set partly in a parallel dimension about a bedtime story told on Gallifrey. Sounds very similar to a recent story.
It does, which still...
Reuse that...
Well, which had some great elements, but too much in it.
Yeah.
You know, so
again, they
same
just
thing.
kind of
Same
throw
thing.
this in. Oh, yeah, these are the bad guys. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, what history does he have with...
Yeah, there's multiple times where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you guys, I thought you guys were a myth.
Yeah.
Oh, another myth. Oh, okay, rightio.
Yeah,
All your
that's
myths are
why
real.
the audience has no prior knowledge of this bad guy, and he means nothing in the grand scheme of
exactly.
things.
Yeah,
Cool.
and so we don't. I mean, yes, we don't all want to die, but I didn't feel he was very threatening.
No, he wasn't a threat.
No.
He was the ship's AI. He wasn't threatening
Yeah,
at all.
I know,
He did
I know.
nothing to try and stop the Doctor.
No.
He's just like, well, I'll nip off. Don't stop our extermination of Earth now that you found out about it. Bye.
Yeah.
It turns out the Shakri are pest controllers trying to destroy humanity. Now, surely there are more worthy races of being eliminated. Oh, I don't know. The Daleks and the Cybermen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why does it have to be humanity?
Well, we are the Cybermen, by the way.
Did you not hear the amount of penis and vagina jokes we've made this episode?
Yeah.
The Doctor uses the ship's system to feed back electricity through the cubes, restarting the hearts of everyone who died, but also destroying the ship. They managed to make it out just in time, leaving at least 5 people dead on board.
I want one day there to be an explosion in a TV show or something where they actually just make it out in plenty of time. They're like, oh, it's...
Yeah, has it
that
not
was
happened
quick.
yet?
Do you want to go back and see if there's anything we can take?
Yeah.
It's got like another 5-10 minutes.
And then a
like,
companion walks in and it blows up, like, oh shit, I shouldn't have risked
I
that.
got some mass wrong on that
Didn't
one.
they get them all out? Wasn't that Brian's job to get everybody out?
I see them wheel him out, but I don't see them wheel anybody else out. He doesn't come
That's
back.
another thing
No,
that I think they just
they
neglect.
woke Brian up, and he was wheeling people out.
He got wheeled out, but I didn't see him wheeling people out.
Oh, I think there's going to be a fight on here.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the Doctor killed people and never mentions them again.
My doctor
He
wouldn't
killed
do
him.
that.
He just didn't have time, man, you know?
Yeah, you can't help everyone.
He's just a doctor. He's
I
not
mean,
Superman.
you know, as I always say to him, take Adam, save me.
As I
Just a humble Time
say
Lord.
to the Doctor, take me right now.
Big boy,
Yeah.
right in the butt.
Oh, there we go. We're back on track.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba. Back at home, the Doctor again invites Rory and Amy on an adventure, and Brian tells them to go to seize the opportunity while they can. Brian sees them off, unaware that it's the last time he will ever see his son and daughter-in-law again.
He's just stayed to water the plants.
Chris Chibnall actually writes a companion piece to this episode, which was never actually made. I think because they couldn't get Mark Williams back in time. But basically what happens is he's watering the plants at their house. A guy knocks on the door and says, I have this letter for you.
He's older than Brian, isn't he?
He's older than Brian. He gives them this letter, and it basically is from Amy and Rory saying, we've been sent back in time. We lived a wonderful life. We adopted a man, and the person who delivered the letter is your adopted grandson.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That's
Yeah.
nice. I mean,
It's still
sad, but
kind of
it's nice.
sad,
Yeah.
you
sad,
know. But it was just more poignant knowing that was the last time.
Because
you know?
Brian is the one who says to them, "Go, off
Yeah.
you go. Just
Yeah.
make sure that they're safe, and they are safe.
Yeah.
They just can never see him ever again."
In the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for another episode. As we like to do, we like to give the episode a score out of 5.
Well, it's my favourite Doctor, so that always gives it a couple of points.
Right.
He did say welcome back, Lefty, which is still one of my faves. The Brigadier's back in it. The relationships are beautiful, but as we said, felt like the end of it was rushed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
All
Out of
right.
5.
Above or below A Christmas Carol?
Well, gosh, I've always loved A Christmas Carol until I realised the hostage situation with the woman. So, no, I'll put it above A Christmas Carol.
I didn't really remember much about this episode. The first half an hour of the episode is fantastic. I was all ready to give it a 4 or 5. But the last 10 minutes is just so rushed. So, like, here's the explanation. And it, you know, we've mentioned it in this episode that it's basically just you need a reason for the episode to be, and it's not explained very well. Maybe it should have been a 2-part episode.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 3 because it's got some really great moments in it, but it's just, you know, the story isn't very good. And I feel like next episode is probably even better. It's probably even more poignant because it is their last episode.
Yeah.
You know?
I really wish they hadn't rushed the end because there was so much in this to love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a yucky baddie.
Yeah.
Just a rubbish one.
Yeah, just
you know?
just rush to the end.
Yeah,
that's
it's like just Nick Carr with the death ray. What are you doing this for,
Yeah.
Nick? Because I can,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, not having seen any of the others, so I don't have any compared to. I'm going to go with 2.5 because it started really strong, but the wheels came off at the end. And also, it probably was a hard one for someone not fully in depth in the universe to try. Because normally I don't know if you know this, I'm a pretty clever guy.
Yeah.
I can work things out from context generally, but there was so much in that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get any of this. Like, but there's some really great bits. Like you say, it started really strong. But wheels came off at the end. I was like,
and look,
that's
and I do
terrible.
know that you're very clever because you sent me 15 texts to tell me that before this podcast.
I'm real smart.
If you weren't invested, it really was about the characters more than about the story.
Exactly,
And if you don't know the characters as well, it doesn't work.
You don't know it was celebrating their relationship, but I wasn't familiar with their relationship.
Exactly. It's probably not a good episode to put onto someone who's never seen an episode before because it does celebrate their relationship.
But if you'd given it to a lesser intellect, they would have struggled more.
Although the reason we gave you this episode is because there's the unit, there's the conspiracies, there's the whole thing, and that will tie into our episode on Not Backed by Science.
So it's a direct crossover. Nice.
Yeah, basically.
It's worked out well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Adam does. I just turn up every...
I'm glad you do turn
He
up.
does more
otherwise I'd be
homework
stuck.
than
Every day.
any podcast host I've ever seen.
Yeah. I just try to be sober.
He's already done more homework for my podcast than I've ever done. So, he's killing it.
He's very organised.
Yeah.
Now, Nick, everybody who's on our podcast, we ask them what would
Has to have sex with Adam. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yep, that's
Please,
a requisite.
please,
I did tell you that at the
please.
start.
He did, or I mean, I was hoping it was a joke, but
You have to have sex with me again, because there was that drunken night where we were
I
at the
sent you a
paddock.
lot of photos of him in a lot of positions.
A lot of. I knew what I was in for.
No, they have to come up with their Time Lord name.
Okay.
Which is not going to be, Adam's Gimp. So your Time Lord.
Adam's the gimp. I'm
Oh,
nobody's gimp.
yeah. We rotate the roles.
that's,
I've just been the gimp most of the time, but so one day you'll be the gimp.
So the Time Lord name is, the Doctor picks the Doctor because it's do no harm. Adam is called
The nerd.
because
Very surprisingly.
because he picks everything to pieces. My family call me the Commander because I'm a bit bossy. So everybody has picked something that either is a part of who they are or who they strive to be. Like, I really liked Matt Ford's. This was the decent because he strives to be a decent person and he likes that. So you can go funny, you can go, something that you think is the essence of you or what you strive to be.
I would think that I am the contradiction because I
like that.
I contradict myself. Like I'm a lot of different things that just don't make sense.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like that. Like I'm.
You don't want to be the dick joke?
Sorry.
You don't want to be the dick joke?
I mean, I don't want to be, but that's probably a more accurate term.
The Johnson?
Actually, I like the contradiction.
The contradiction,
because
I like
you
it,
are a bit of that. You think of your job, you do comedy.
Yeah.
I've had quite serious conversations with you and completely silly
Not
ones.
today, but
not
at
today.
other times.
Not today.
Not
Today's
today.
very silly, heavily.
So I can see that. I like that. I like that
Thank you.
one.
Yeah, awesome.
So you turn up and you go, is he going to be good or bad? I don't know.
It could be funny or it could be shit. Well, that's how my comedy goes. It either goes very well or very, very badly. There's not really much middle ground.
Are we going to struggle to get an hour? No, almost an hour and a half. Yeah.
No, that's it.
All right, so thank you very much for being on the episode.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been great fun.
You are the host of the Not Backed by Science podcast.
Yep.
If you're around Toowoomba, down to Clown.
Down to Clown Comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's once a month at the Spotted Cow. I have to get you on.
Fantastic
soon.
spot.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to go. That's I was
yeah.
at Fibbers the other day.
Oh, really?
Or Fitzy's,
What are you
whatever.
doing in T-Bar and not saying, come get you? Well, I'm off the Terps, so I can't.
No, I was having a school catch-up because I went to
nice.
school there, so a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh, man, good.
Yeah.
Good old Fitzy's.
It was.
Fitzy's is good, yeah. Just to plug just the city of Toowoomba in general.
Yeah.
Also, I've got a new show coming up, 29th of April, at Bruin the City. We're doing a comedy show there.
Okay.
I think our headliner is going to be Mel Buttle.
Oh, wow.
And our MC is going to be Patrick Melton from the US of A. Show kicks off at like 7. It's a free show, so just come in and sit down and enjoy. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Monday night.
Is that going to be a regular show? Or
It's going to be a
just
regular
one-off?
room. It'll be a smaller show. There'll only be a couple of acts, so it's not going to be like an open mic or anything like that. So it's going to take me a long time to get through everyone in Brisbane, which is going to be frustrating because the lesson I've learnt in room running is that it's fucking awful and I hate it.
Yeah.
So
Are you weekly or?
it's monthly. Both my shows are monthly.
Same with me with All In, and I only want to put a smaller show together, give people more time. And,
that's it. It's longer spots
and give people an opportunity to do something more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly, I suppose that's exactly what I'm doing, yeah. It's just longer spots. So.
Awesome. Check those out, Nicchia.
No, just really all in.
I'm doing real life fake news as part of the Anywhere Festival. 7 p.m. Tickets are $20. Find more information on anywhere.is.
Is that an improv show?
Yes, it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we take news stories and basically create the real fake news.
No, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm just going to yell Trump tweets at you and see how you go.
Okay, right. Yeah. Well, you'll be.
I'm just going to yell, show us your dick.
Yeah, you will both be hecklers asked to leave. It's at the ABC studios in South Bank.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to a Christmas party there once.
Oh, really?
Well, my sister, she's a journo.
Yeah.
And she was there and she invited us to come along because her husband was being inducted into the Hall of Fame in Longreach.
Oh.
He's a real photographer.
Wow.
So, anyway, they had a thing there and it was great just to wander through the studios.
We're going to be in where the Queensland Symphony Orchestra usually play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It can sit 200, but we've paid for security for 80 people. So get your tickets.
Yeah.
We've sold a quarter of the tickets already, and we've only just started rehearsals.
Oh,
so
wow.
get in quickly. Yeah,
that's awesome.
All right, that's
great. I recorded an interview there. That helped me. I'm a comedian. If you're interested in that.
Oh yes.
I talk about
with Ashwin.
Ashwin, and the Rachel. Rachel Hannam. It was great. It was a little interview. I think it's still up. I think you can still find it or wherever if you Google me.
I haven't heard yours. I've heard a few.
And talk about drinking. It's real depressing.
Do you give up drinking straight after that? Or?
No. It was a couple of months after. I gave up. Well, look, I haven't given up. I've had the odd beer and stuff at like barbecues or mum's birthday. The other day I had beer, but I'm not definitely not at the level. I'm nowhere near the level I was at.
Right.
I'm not.
As you've shown today, you don't need a drink to have fun.
Be a complete fuckwit.
You do need a drink to do a podcast, and you've drunk quite a few beers. Yeah,
I've had several.
No,
of course not.
It's one line of Coke, and he was right. I mean, I thought about him.
It's strange that you drink your Coke like that.
Yeah. I don't think you're doing it right. But
I do it real quick.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, it's strange that you get the drug Coke, put into water, and then drink it. It's so strange. Anyway,
just a reminder: D4WH is on Facebook, so please give our page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, which is D4WH Pod. And we will post questions and polls, and we love to get your input and your feedback. You can rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook, and follow us on Podbean. And we're also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Please, everybody, help us get the word out. Tell your friends about us. And if you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt, politely go up and tell them that they should listen to our podcast. And then write it down and then...
All right. Get the word out. You might be sitting at home all by yourself enjoying a nice cup of tea when you notice Nicchia and myself sitting on the couch beside you. We sit down with you and record a thoroughly enjoyable podcast about Doctor Who. You can't believe it. You're a guest on D4WH. It's about this time that Nicchia opens her mouth and answers a question you asked, and all that comes out is a loud beeping. You awake in your bed and realise it was all a dream. Oh well, it's the day a new episode of D4WH comes out, so it's all good. Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye. Thanks, Nick.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?